welcome to this edition of Blue Streak Spotlight. I'm your host, Johnny Hastings, and joining us today from the wrestling team is Bryan Steimetz, who wrestles at 184 pounds. Bryan, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, Johnny. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, knowing that you took last season off to hone your skills and work on your technique, what's this year been like since you've returned to the wrestling mat?
It's been so great to be back on the mat. Luckily, the coaches last year gave me the opportunity to travel with the team, work kind of as a manager. I filmed the matches, carried some of the equipment from the bus into the tournaments, and that was really nice for me last year. Stay part of the team, stay in the atmosphere, but it's nothing like competing yourself and being on the mat. So it's really awesome being back.
Well, since you've been on the mat, it's plain to see that you're a guy hungry to take your game, and not only your game, but the program to the next level and to that upper elite category. Can you elaborate on how the team has set their goals so far this season and your own personal goals as well?
Yeah, we actually have talked a lot as a team this year about goal setting. One of the earlier practices, we all got a piece of paper, wrote down our season goals, posted them up on the wall, want the whole team to see them. We really, this year, talked about holding each other accountable for our goals. I put it up there, told the whole room that I'm looking to be an All-American this year. I want to be a national champion. And a lot of people look at me and say maybe I don't have the qualifications to be talking like that yet. But, now that everybody knows that, they see me, taking it easy or something, they just, get in my face a little bit and say, I thought you wanted to be a national champion. You're not training like it right now. And so that's been helping our team out this year a lot.
Well, exactly. Well, you're off to a great start. You were named OAC Wrestler of the Week early on in the season. That has to be great to help your confidence in the later on in the season. And saying that, the John Carroll Wrestling Program has had a rich tradition of winning. However, recent times that really hasn't been the case due to the OAC getting a lot deeper and the key graduation to a lot of great wrestlers. Dan Meisner, Ben Adams have left this program, but a lot of young guys have stepped in, and you guys have to fill their shoes. What has that process been like to restore the tradition of John Carroll Wrestling?
It's kind of like a roller coaster. It is frustrating, losing guys that have made such a deep impact on the program. Ben Adams last year, Dan Meisner, a lot of other seniors from their class were great leaders, great wrestlers, awesome to have in the room. But it is also really exciting too because of the new guys getting the experience. Especially last year, our team struggled with injuries. It's like nothing I've ever seen. How many starters had to sit out for the whole season, half the season. Gave a lot of young guys and experienced guys a chance to wrestle the varsity matches, and it's frustrating that we were losing a lot, but really promising and exciting for the future that now our second string guys already have a season of varsity experience and adds a lot of depth to the practice room, leads to really intense workouts, and it keeps people hungry because they get a little taste of the competition, and that's what's driving us right now.
Right, you guys are training in a brand new state-of-the-art wrestling room, which has to set you guys on the right track for the future. And you guys, you're a sophomore. You make up a large portion of the wrestling team, your class, as well as freshmen, a younger team in general. How has it been like as a young wrestler, how have these wrestlers adjusted to college wrestling as compared to, say, high school or to what they're used to, because it's a different beast, is it not, Bryan?
Yeah, it is so different. It's really shocking, like almost a new sport. I've heard people say it's like a different sport. And a lot of programs have problems with their freshmen because they see so much success in high school, come in with the big head, and then get they worked all the time in practice, and it just creates drama and conflict. And luckily the way the coaches have been recruiting the last couple of years, they've been bringing in some great talent and also some really good guys. So awesome team chemistry this year. Everyone responds really well to peer leadership, and things are going really good. The freshman class are definitely holding their own.
And that's like you alluded to. Coach Volkman has done an outstanding job recruiting, bringing in these young talented wrestlers, and they've been performing pretty well so far here early on in the season. Now I want to ask you more of a personal question, Bryan. You are a business management major here at John Carroll. I know you're only a sophomore, but anything post John Carroll that you will be interested in once you graduate from the university?
Yeah, I look at myself and I realize as a sophomore, wrestling-wise, I have 3 more years of wrestling, and and I realized that that's not enough for me. So I think I'd like to get involved in coaching. I'd like to find a GA position somewhere after I leave here. It'd be great if I could stick around and coach at John Carroll for a few years. So if the timing works out, maybe that will be the case. Otherwise, I could head back home to Wisconsin. There's a lot of Division III programs in Wisconsin, or anywhere, as long as I can stay in the sport.
Right, Bryan, you just mentioned, great segue, you're from Wisconsin. John Carroll predominantly gets students from, obviously, the Ohio area, Pennsylvania, New York, the Chicago, Illinois area. You were from Port Washington, Wisconsin. So let me ask you, what brings a cheesehead like yourself to the Buckeye State?
Well, I guess Coach Volkman was the first one to contact me. I never heard of John Carroll until then. And through a couple emails and some phone calls, he told me a lot about the school, and did a little bit of my own research, and I really liked all the opportunity that was here, and I really appreciate the Jesuit education and the active campus ministry that I wanted to get involved in. So I came on a visit, beautiful campus obviously, and the guys on the team that I met were great. The coaches are awesome. Everything felt right, and so that's where I found myself.
Obviously a Packers fan, I presume?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, we'll end it right there, Bryan. Thank you so much for joining us. Good luck to you and the rest of the wrestling program throughout the entire season. Wish you guys nothing but the best.
Thanks, Johnny.
And that'll do it for this edition of Blue Streak Spotlight. I'm your host, Johnny Hastings.